Hey you're watching a clip from the DynamiteGizmo podcast. This is not the full episode, but if you want to see the full episode, make sure to click the link in the description. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Do it now. Here's the clip. And I think I've been seeing some articles on the old internet that it might be that Tom versus Cyril Gane is confirmed. We're not talking about that today, though. We're moving on to our final topic of discussion today, which is the fight coming up this weekend. Gonna be a bang-a-rang, dude. Gonna be a Krispy Kreme donut, okay? And by the way, I am making fight prediction sheets for this weekend. I've been making them pretty much every single fight this year. I don't know if I missed one. So if you want fight prediction sheets for the fights this weekend, they will be available. They are in the description, okay? They will be there by this Friday. Click the link in the description. Why does this keep popping up? Click the link in the description. It'll take you to the Google Drive. You can download them. You can print them off like a bad mama Jim, okay? So let's talk about Buckley, shall we? Joaquin Buckley. Let me just see if I have clips that I need to show. Nope, I don't. That's golden, dude. Okay, Joaquin Buckley and Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman. He's facing Joaquin Buckley this weekend. The Nigerian Nightmare versus New Mansa. All right? When it comes to the UFC, Usman was one of the three main champions to come out of Africa before Dricus du Plessis came into the mix. We had Francis Ngannou, Israel Adesanya, and Kamaru Usman. The three kings of Africa, born and bred champions from a continent with a rich history in combat sports. I don't know if it has a rich history in combat sports, but it's definitely a continent that they're all from. Francis left the organization without ever having to face John Jones. Right in his prime. The fight we all wanted to see more than any other, but it never came to fruition. One of the biggest losses in UFC history was not getting that fight. And now we're experiencing it again with John Jones and Tom Aspinall. He loves to disappoint, my friends. But besides that, then we had Israel Adesanya, okay? After 6 title defenses and a loss to Pereira, he avenged himself by reclaiming the belt. But now, Israel is running on a 3-fight losing streak to Strickland, du Plessis, and Imavov. His reign is coming to a close. And then here we are with the final king, Kamaru Usman. After 5 title defenses, a loss to Leon twice in a row, and now with the rise of Khamzat, this might be the last chance to prove he still has some fire left in his veins. New Mansa's coming in. Buckley, that's his chosen nickname. But what does New Mansa even mean? Huh? New Mansa refers to Mansa Musa, the 14th century emperor of the Mali Empire in West Africa. Mansa Musa is regarded as one of the wealthiest and most powerful rulers in history. Known for his immense gold wealth, expansive empire, and legendary pilgrimage to Mecca. The new Mansa is stepping in and taking out the remaining kings, showing the world his power and legacy in the sport, letting everyone know that the new king is here. Joaquin Buckley. The question is, what actually happens next if Joaquin does win? We already know how stacked welterweight is at the moment. The next title fight is set between JDM and Islam Makhachev, but here's where it gets interesting. We've got Sean Brady at number 2, Shavkat at number 3, and Buckley will likely get the number 5 position once he beats Kamaru Usman, and then we have Ian Gary at number 6. Okay? Let's just crunch some numbers here. All right, now we all want to see Shavkat get his shot at the title next, but with his surgery, who knows what's happening? It might be a little while before we even consider seeing him in the mix. It might even be until 2026. I don't know, and who knows? So let's just set him aside for now, all right? Now we've got Sean Brady at number 2 after defeating Leon. Okay? And he also set a fucking new record for the longest time controlling an opponent on the ground. He's on a 2-fight win streak with victories over Gilbert Burns and Kelvin Gastelum, who we just saw this past weekend. All right. So then we have Ian Gary, who's on a 1-fight win streak after beating Carlos Prates. Prior to that, he only had 1 loss on his record to Shavkat in a very close matchup, while still being undefeated and beating guys like MVP, Jeff Neal, and Magny. So if we're being practical, excuse me, if we're being practical, it would make sense to have the soon-to-be number 5 ranked Buckley face number 2 ranked Sean Brady, and the winner gets a title shot, practically speaking. But this is the UFC. It's not just about practicality. It's about what will sell. And Buck versus Cuck, that shit's going to sell like crazy. Okay? The tension between Buckley and Gary is real. It's there. And after what Buckley said about Ian Gary being a cuck, you can bet that fight is going to draw in some major attention, my guy. And as for Sean, well, he could rematch Bilal Muhammad, get his revenge, possibly earning a win, which would put him in the number 1 contender spot and give him the next title shot after Buck versus Cuck. Now, but the thing is, all of this is contingent upon Buckley winning against Usman. Because if he doesn't, he's out of the title talk, at least for now, which would mean Ian Gary jumps right up to face Sean Brady for the title contention. And Buckley, if he loses, he could have a matchup between Leon Edwards or possibly even Michael Morales. All right? But if we look at this strategically and at the reality of the situation, Joaquin Buckley is 31 years old. He's in his prime. He's on a dominant 6-fight win streak. Usman, on the other hand, is 38 years old. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He has nothing left to prove. So really, not only will this be the final test for Usman, but it's also one more passing of the guard in the welterweight division. A division that continues to get more and more exciting with every single fight, which is what the UFC should be. And it would be nice if every single division could be like the welterweight in that sense. So because of these factors, I'm confident Buckley will take the win and continue to push forward and make this division the best it's ever going to be, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. Buck by Cuck. I like how he says Usman. I will Usman, boy. I will Usman. Should be a grand old time, ladies and guys. Should be a grand kakarmiki.
Tap here to watch the full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast.